We're here because free speech is under attack. We're here because people are being convinced that socialism works. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
Anti-Semites call for violence. The Trump classified documents trial on hold. TikTok sues the U.S. government, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. Anarchists at George Washington University in Washington, D.C. have apparently called for the beheadings of school administrators amid their continued pro-Hamas encampment. Demonstrators on campus called for the guillotine to be used on GW President Ellen Granberg and other school administrators, according to a video posted to social media. Guillotine, 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 a person repeatedly chanted as others joined in, while some specifically target Christopher Allen Bracey, GW's African American provost, the National Desk reported. Bracey, Bracey, we see you. You assault students too. To the guillotine, another can be heard shouting per the report. Protesters shouted, off to the MF gallows with you too. At least 35 people were arrested at GWU as of Wednesday morning. Biden finally condemned the ferocious surge of anti-Semitism in his speech at a Holocaust remembrance ceremony. President Biden criticized U.S. college campus protests that include anti-Semitism or hate speech or threats of violence of any kind. Biden acknowledged Americans' rights to free speech and peaceful protest, but said scapegoating and demonizing any minority is a threat to every minority and the very foundation of our democracy. The president also decried the October 7th atrocities committed by Hamas in Israel. Biden has been criticized by some in his own party for his staunch support of Israel and by Republicans for not going far enough in denouncing the campus protests. Biden has continually spoken out against Islamophobia, despite there being no threats to Muslim students nor any protests against Muslims. Former President Trump's classified records trial, stemming from special counsel Jack Smith's investigation, has been postponed with no new date. The trial was set to begin on May 20th, but Judge Aileen Cannon of the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Florida postponed that date. In a filing Tuesday, Cannon said that due to the myriad and interconnected pretrial issues remaining and forthcoming, it would be imprudent and inconsistent with the court's duty to fully and fairly consider the various pending pretrial motions. The court therefore vacates the current May 20th, 2024 trial date and associated calendar call to be reset by separate order following resolution of the matters before the court, consistent with defenders' right to due process and the public's interest in a fair and efficient administration of justice, Cannon wrote. In the filing, Cannon listed the dates of pretrial deadlines to manage pending discovery and disclosure matters and to adjudicate pretrial motions before the court. Meanwhile, in Trump's New York case, defense attorneys called for a mistrial after Stormy Daniels provided salacious but irrelevant testimony. The judge refused the mistrial, giving Trump yet another issue for appeal. TikTok filed a 66-page legal complaint suing the U.S. government yesterday over a law that forces it to be sold to a non-Chinese company to avoid a ban. The bipartisan measure, signed by President Biden last month, gives TikTok's Chinese owner ByteDance up to 12 months to seal the deal before it gets blocked in the U.S. In its legal challenge, TikTok called the law unprecedented and unconstitutional, arguing that it infringes on Americans' right to free expression under the First Amendment. TikTok claims a ban would deprive its 170 million U.S. users of a way to consume and transmit information. TikTok has been determined to be a threat to national security because of the information it collects, its ownership by the Chinese Communist government, and the misinformation it spreads to America's youth. Apple unveiled new iPad models. For the first time since 2022, the tech giant revealed major updates to its line of tablets, with an emphasis on artificial intelligence. The new iPad Pro comes with an M4 chip, which Apple says is 50% faster than the M2 chip and can handle AI tasks directly in the device rather than connecting to the internet and remote servers. The updated iPad Air, meanwhile, now can come with a larger screen and double the storage. Apple also unveiled updated iPad accessories such as a new keyboard and Apple Pencil Pro. Minneapolis Federal Reserve President Neel Kashkari said Tuesday that the central bank will need to hold interest rates steady for an extended period that may last through the rest of the year. Kashkari made the remarks at a Milken Institute conference where he outlined what he would need to see in the inflation data before he can support interest rate cuts. I would need to see multiple positive inflation readings suggesting that the disinflation process is on track, Kashkari said. His remarks come as decreases in inflation have largely stalled in recent months, with year-over-year inflation at 2.7% in the most recent reading. That level is well above the Fed's 2% target rate and leaves policymakers in limbo with inflation elevated, but not to such a degree that further rate hikes are clearly needed. That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of The Raw Naked Truth at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcasts app, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.